I've just barely got this out of the brake, and you'll notice it has a lot smoother sound to it, not near as rattly, and as soon as you pick it up, you're going to notice that it's going to flop all over the place, even though there's screws in it. And the reason is the caps are actually what's going to keep it in square, keep it together, keep it rigid. And so before we continue further, let's go ahead and pop rivet the top, and we'll just use some 1/8 inch steel pop rivets. Be sure that you're pop riveting from this direction in, because the stove portion is actually going to sit on the outside of this. Alright, for the stand, we've got the bottom piece and we've got the top piece on the center front to put in. Basically they're going to go down like this, and then simply you just put a screw into it to hold it in place. Square it up, put a screw in. Same with the top. I thought I'd take a moment and make sure that the oven actually fit on top of the stand okay, and yes it does. If the oven doesn't fit on top of the stand at this point, then continuing on with the doors might just be a waste of time, because it's got to fit at this point. If it doesn't, then you'll need to go back, ascertain why it's not fitting, maybe just go ahead and finish up building it and use it for something else. But if all the measurements were precise enough along with the bends, then it should fit on nice and snug without a whole lot of extra play. Alright, this is layout number 7 on the stand, and what we need is a piece of metal that's 16 and 7/8 by 11 1/4 inches. Now on this one, this is going to be the outside panel of the door on the top portion. First we set the scribe to 1 inch, make our mark along there, then we set it to 1 1/8 inches. We mark the other sides. Then we set it to 2 1/4 inches. Now on the side where we marked the 1 inch, that's where we marked the 2 1/4. Then we notch it out at this last mark we just made along the 1 inch line. Then on these other two that are the 1 1/8 intersections, what we do is we cut it like we do an end cap. But on this one, we're going to want to intersect it right at the intersection instead of going a little bit over. Now to bend it up, to start off, these will be bent over as far as the brake will go. So it'll be about a 30-degree bend on this side, and this side. This side here will just be a 90 straight up, but we actually wait until we get the bottom pan before we bend that. And so for now, it'll just be these 3 sides bend up as much as possible. Alright, for the number 7 fitting, after it's bent up in the brake, this is what it'll look like. These two are bent up, and actually I use the bar fold on it, but once, like I says, we just go to this point and then we start on the next fitting. Alright, the next fitting is for the inside of the upper door. To do this, we start off with a piece at 16 3/8 by 11 inch, and this is 26 gauge along with the other parts of the door. As a matter of fact, all of the stand is 26 gauge except for the end caps. So to start off this, we set the scribe to 1 inch. We mark all sides. Now reset the scribe to 2 inches and mark 2 of the sides and the top. Now what we do is notch it at the 2 and 1 inch intersection on the bottom. Now what we're going to do to bend it up is we're going to bend at the 2 inch mark these sides up, then at the 1 inch mark this one will be bent up. The additional inch is going to have to be bent by hand after the fact. Alright, once we get this bent up this far, we can only bend to 30 degree on the brake, or else it hits this. And so we just finish bending these by hand. This one here will literally be by hand. Now we take a folding tool, we bend 1 inch out. Now when this is bent like this, we go back to our number 7 fitting, and what is going to happen is it slides in like so. Now we'll go back to the brake, we'll clamp down all these sides, and then we can also bend up this end here. Alright, here we have the door. It's been flattened out. So the front side, pretty nice. Back side, what we need to do to keep this square, and first you'll want to push it down on a hard flat surface to make sure that it's not scawampus. It can bend, and if it's scawampus like right there, then when you go to put it on the stand itself, it's not going to fit very well. So press it down good, make sure it's nice and flat, then also make sure that it's pushed up as far as it can go this direction. Once you've got that, then go ahead and pop rivet maybe 2 on each flange, but you'll need to be sure to bend them over, to pound them over, pound them flat, or else it's going to make a standoff on the stand itself. Then also put a couple of pop rivets down here, and then the door is going to be complete and it'll be ready to be mounted.